What's up, everybody? This is Mike Garcia with BDA Podcast. I'm excited today. Here in the house, we have the pride of the Valley, a very good friend of mine, Mr. Aaron Nixon. Aaron in the house. How you doing, man?
Doing well.
Nice. So we're going to get into it. We're going to talk a little bit today. We don't have a huge Q&A, anybody sending questions, but, kind of want to go over what's it like, what's the journey been like for you, right? Coming from the Valley, with the accomplishments that you've gone through, and just kind of talk about that. And we'll kind of run through, man.
Well, I've been here my whole life, and, my parents are from here, McAllen grads. So, I love the Valley. I love everything that comes with it, the Mexican food, the culture, everything. So, I've been here since a young age, and it's been great, and I'm probably going to live here when I'm older. I love it here, and I love all the people and everything that comes about it.
That's awesome, man. So let's talk about it, dude. So, 5 years old, 4 years old, you start playing baseball, you pick it up, When did you decide, right? When did it click to you, say, man, this is what I want to do, this is what I'm going to do, this is it?
Well, ever since I could walk, I was swinging a baseball bat or throwing a baseball with my dad in the backyard, pretending to be all the big-time stars, like Nolan Ryan and stuff like that. I wouldn't even watch Disney Channel when I was younger. I would watch MLB Network, especially during the summertime and All-Star breaks. I loved it. So ever since a young age, I knew I loved baseball, and I got to bond with my dad with it. So it was great. He taught me everything I know, and ever since a young age, I would go out there 2 hours. I'd be hitting, I'd be throwing, I'd be doing dynamic warm-ups, stuff like that. My dad had it all figured out, so it was awesome, and just have somebody like that just lead the way for me. But, at a young age, I just really learned how to compete. I think some of that's from my dad being a Marine, and raising me like that, and other is from, just playing. I played a lot when I was younger, almost every day, whether that being football in recess, baseball on the weekends, rec league baseball, just every day I was competing, and I think that really molded my competitive nature.
That's awesome. So you talk about being competitive at such a young age, right? Where did you find that you had the most competition? So let's talk about, you're playing here locally, right? I know the weekends, maybe tournaments here and there. At that young age, where did you find the most competition, challenging yourself, grinding out, kind of perfecting your craft? Where did you find that?
Well, I felt like I perfected my craft down here, playing these local tournaments. I feel like a lot of them I'd play up. So when I would play up, I'd have to compete even more because at a young age, every year counts. You grow every year. So those kids were a lot bigger than me at the time. So I had to compete, and I think it got me a lot better and made me compete even harder, And I think that goes along with, I played flag football too, and that one-on-one competition. I played receiver when I was younger, so I was one-on-one with the DB, stuff like that, just competing. I think that's what my dad wanted me to do, and I think that's what was best for me, just competing every day. And I think that, just competing every day was great, and I think that got me where I need to be.
What's your fondest memory, man? When you go back and just thinking about, as a child, watching MLB Network, doing those things, but what's game-wise, what's one of the biggest memories you have, whether winning a game, or the pressure situation? What's one of the bigger memories you have?
The best memory I've had, it's got to be in college. It's got to be in college. It was TCU, my freshman year. It was to win the Big 12 championship on a Friday night. They just let the COVID restrictions off, so everybody was there at TCU. Mm-hmm. It was a crazy electric environment. It's the ninth inning. I come in the game with 2 on, no outs, and I come in and shut it down. But the biggest thing I remember is when I walked in the game, I looked up at the crowd, I took in the environment, and then I just I was in the zone. I kind of blacked out. I remember after celebrating with my teammates, but in the moment, I don't remember much of the at-bats, but it was just, I remember just the adrenaline coursing through my veins, and it was a lot of fun.
How much of youth baseball would you say prepared you for those moments? Growing up through baseball, how much do you think that helped you?
Well, with the Banditos and stuff like that, Ray DeLeon, he always put me in the grease, and by the grease I mean the fire, like the pressure situations, like bases loaded, no outs, go get us out of it. I've done that since I was like 7, 8 years old, with Ray and my dad. They always put me in those moments, just preparing me for the future. And, at that time, I didn't see it like that. I saw it like, oh, I'm going to be the guy. I'm going to be the guy to win the game. I love it, and just taking that mindset into that stuff like that, those pressure moments, like, I'm going to be the guy to win this game. I'm going to do it for my team and stuff like that. I feel like it takes a lot of the pressure off of you, and it puts it like on the team. Like, oh, I'm going to do this for my team. Right. I'm going to win this game for my team. You know what I mean? And I think that's what I learned when I was younger, and that's what my dad and Ray DeLeon and them put me in those pressure situations to teach me.
That's awesome, man. So that's your middle school ball, Banditos, right, playing there in Houston. That rolls into high school, right? So you're a Mac High grad, right? Shout out, Mac High Bulldogs.
Mac High grad.
Right? Mac High Bulldogs. What was that like? Coach Bumpa, who is like still there, it seems like I want to say he's been there forever. And I'm literally going to say like, it seems like Coach Bumpa's been there forever. What was that experience like? That you guys had a really good run, really solid team. What would you say, man, high school experience? What did that look like?
Well, it was awesome. High school baseball down here is great. A lot of people show up to the games. We have a lot of good rivalries. It's really competitive. And, I had some great teams. My freshman year team was really, really good. We went four rounds deep in state and stuff like that. It was great, And I just think in high school, like, even more so, like, we all just competed, for each other and to win games, because that's all it was about. We need to win games. It wasn't about like selfish reasons. About, okay, we need to beat this team to get on the next game. So I think in high school I learned more how to be a team player and a leader. Right. And throughout high school as a freshman, I was getting to know everybody, understanding it, and when I got to my junior, senior year, I felt like I learned to be a leader and to help teammates. We'd have 5:45 a.m. workouts, getting after it with the whole team. And, those guys are awesome. They worked hard every day, and they're still working hard. A lot of them are still playing. So, they're awesome. So I had a lot of fun.
That's awesome, man. So let's talk a little bit about that. So you talk about 5:45 a.m. workouts. So, to compete at this level, the level you've been competing at since you were 5 years old, right, and go through middle school, with Ray, competitive locally through high school, college, and out through professional career. Let's talk about some of the training, man. Let's talk about some of the discipline, right? So, what does it take? What does it take? Let's talk about the physicality of the whole thing, one, right? And then two, let's talk about the mental part of it, right? Because I think there's a big mental part that goes into this discipline in this game. If you had to maybe just explain it to everyone, what does a typical week look like, right? What's a typical week look like for you? Now things may be a little different, right? But the best we can group together, what's a typical week look like?
Well, right now, typical week looks like Monday, I get up in the morning. This is an everyday thing. I have my morning routine. I feel like it starts me off in a good pace for the day. So I get up, I make Greek yogurt with some granola. I eat that, and I make my supplements from BPN. Some strong red, some creatine, and their electrolytes. Mix them all together, and I go for about a 20-minute walk. Wherever that 20-minute walk takes me, I don't look at miles. I just get out in the sun. Just get going on my walk, and then after that, I'm going straight into like throwing, stuff like that. I would eat breakfast, going to throwing and stuff like that, and then I go to bio. Grind out there, whatever I have that day, whatever the conditioning. Lifting, stuff like that. But I feel like the biggest thing for me is mobility, because I've been strong a lot of my life. And I think the mobility thing, when I started doing that, really got me to the next level,
What was it? What triggered that for you? How old were you? When did that happen? I love you say that, because this is something that we preach in the gym to everyone. And we talk about it hours when we're sitting there training, and we talk about it all the time. We talk to a lot of our athletes, but it's great. When did you realize that mobility was going to separate you from everyone else or give you that competitive edge, right? When did you realize, what was it that clicked for you?
Definitely in college, when I started seeing other pitchers' routines and stuff like Ty Madden, he was a big pitcher at Texas. He was a junior when I was a freshman. So I saw him doing all this mobility stuff, and I was like, So I picked his brain a little bit, asked him, because my dad always told me mobility in high school. You know, I did it, but not to the high level I do it today.
Right.
So when I saw that, I knew he was a strong guy. So when I started getting mobile, I started just seeing more velocity, more power, more elasticity. You know what I mean? And for a pitcher or for any athlete, like, being mobile is being healthy. And you want to be as healthy as long as possible. You know what I mean? Because that will separate you from the next guy.
Right. So the mobility is going to definitely give you longevity in a career, right? That's the idea. And I think the more you move up into from high school baseball to college sports, it's about staying as healthy as you can and as mobile as you can. What's a typical mobile routine? What do you like to do? Do you like to do your mobility before you pitch, after you pitch, both? What's that look like?
Before I pitch, for sure. So I have these things called correctives, that stuff I need to work on, like, let's say hips. So like I do like 90-90s, IR stuff with my hips, ER stuff with my hips every day. You know, I work on my hips every day. And I do them every day before I pitch or throw or do anything. I literally do probably head to toe every day. It probably takes me 45 minutes.
So it's a 45-minute investment daily
Yeah.
for the healthiest you could be.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then I'm telling you that 45 minutes I am locked in.
Yeah.
For like, those 45 minutes is one of the most important things in my day. Because if I do that every day, I know in a month I'm going to be more mobile than I was last month. You know what I mean? And that comes with more velocity, healthier, you know, getting in deeper positions when I'm throwing, you know, and stuff like that. So I think it's really important. I think everybody should do it, and I think you should start at a young age.
Right.
So.
Yeah, definitely. I'm glad you said that, man, because, you know, we talk about it a lot with the kids, and it's almost boring, right? So, you know, how do you make it fun? How do you make this fun, your mobility work?
Well, at first, you know, I definitely made myself do it at first. And then when you just start seeing the results and how you feel and stuff like that, you start enjoying it. You know what I mean? And you know, some stuff isn't fun. Some stuff isn't fun, and you just got to do it to help yourself. You know what I mean? And some days, you know, like, we all have those days where you're just tired and you're like, oh, I want to go get my lift in. You know what I mean? But no, you can't. You got to hit your mobility, because I think that those days are the most important days. You know what I mean? Just every day, doing what you got to do every day, get better is, like, that's the goal.
How do you stay motivated, man? So, you know, every day you're working, every single day you got mobility work for 45 minutes. If you're not pitching, you're lifting, right? There's some form of recovery. You're conditioning 2 days a week. We're lifting 5 days a week. What keeps you motivated, man? What keeps you driving every single day to get up and do what you got to do?
Well, you know, I'm a big competitor. I go back to that, you know what I mean? So I just know that there's other people out there right now working really hard, and I want to work harder, you know, and I want to win at the end of the day, because that's my driving force, is winning. And that's why I've been raised. So I feel like every day, if I get out there and give it 100% and get better every day, then I'm going to be ahead of the curve. You know, I'm going to have that edge on the guy who says, oh, I'm tired today, I don't want to do mobility. You know, I'm just going to do a small dynamic warm-up and hit this lift. No, I'm going to do 45 minutes of mobility, I'm going to do a dynamic warm-up, and I'm going to hit that lift.
Right.
You know, so I'm just doing a little bit more than he is. And that gives me confidence in competition, you know what I mean? That process, that preparation, it just gives me confidence when I'm out there in a one-run game with 25,000 people in the stands, you know what I mean? It gives me confidence, like, I worked harder than this guy, that's why I'm going to beat him.
Right. I love it. Man, you know, the testament to your work ethic is incredible, man. And I go back to, you know, after you had gotten signed and drafted with the Yankees, you left for rookie camp to Tampa, right? I think it was July. Was it July, August, right?
Yeah, around there.
In the July or August. So you left for the month, right? We had finished the work every day. You left for the month. And I get a phone call from you. I think it's Monday afternoon, or the end of rookie camp. And I want to share the story with everybody, because this just goes to talk about the competitiveness and the mindset you have. So I get a phone call from you probably at 10 o'clock in the morning. Say, hey, man, I want to come in. I'm going to throw a bullpen. I'm all done here in Florida. I'm going to throw a bullpen around 2. I can get a workout in at 4. I said, yeah, man, absolutely. What was really crazy, in the afternoon comes around 2, 3 o'clock, you give me a call, and you're like, hey, man, can we push it back to 5 because the flight ran a little late? And I was like, the flight ran late. I thought when you called me in the morning that you were in McAllen, but you were actually in the airport in Florida,
Yeah.
setting up your workout as you came down in your bullpen, right?
Yeah.
So incredible, man, right? So, I know when he came into the gym and we talked about it, I said, dude, how many guys do you think right now who just finished that camp, right, are going home, setting up their workouts, right, to go knock it out and throw a bullpen? And I think that competitive part, Aaron, I think that part right there is what you talk about that really separates, you from the rest, man. It's
Yeah,
awesome.
that day, I was on the way home and my flight was just getting delayed. And I was like, God, man, I hope it doesn't get dark outside because I need to throw my bullpen. That's all I was thinking about. And I was like, I need to get my workout in because, I didn't want to let that day go to waste.
Right.
So I wanted to get my stuff in that day because, I just want to get better every day.
Right.
If I'm getting after it every day, then I'm going to be in a good spot 2 weeks from now,
Right.
So
Yeah.
definitely.
Awesome, man, and that was great, and I love that. I haven't shared that story too much, with some of the kids, but I need to just let them know about that type of dedication, right, and work. So let's talk about that. So, how excited were you, man? What that phone call looked like? What did that look like when the Yankees get a hold of you?
Well, that's the Yankees. They're the best organization in the entire major leagues. So it's definitely something cool. I grew up watching Derek Jeter and those teams, those great dynasties. So it was definitely cool to put on the pinstripes over there and do all that stuff. But even more so, they give everything to their players, and they really helped me get a lot better. And so we did a lot of stuff there to see our mechanics and motion capture, which they put all these sensors on you, and stuff like that, see how you're moving. So they did a lot of stuff there, and they have a lot of great stuff there to help you get better, and I think they helped me get a lot better. So I really enjoyed it up there, and we just got after it every day with some great guys and great people. So it was very cool. I really enjoyed it.
That's awesome, man. So that was 2 months, about right. I know you went back for another camp after that. You were invited back. Can you talk about that a little bit? What was that camp like, the one that they invited you to?
Yeah, that next camp, it was very cool. It was more development based than competition based, which it was very cool. So we just lifted 4 times a week. We get up 6:45 every day. I'll give you a daily routine. We get up 6:45 every day, go to the field, eat breakfast, do our supplements. Then we'll go to meetings, and then we would get pre-stretch for about an hour. We do our stretch for about an hour, then go to dynamic warm up, and then we throw and do whatever we need throwing wise for that day, whether that be a bullpen or just light catch play. And after that, we would have speed work or we would have weight training,
Nice.
And that was a daily thing. And then they would have breakfast and lunch there for us, which was great. We're eating clean. And just the guys there were just awesome. You know what I mean? They're all like-minded people who are really trying to work hard and get where they want to be. So it was very cool being around those people and just getting better every day.
Love it, man. So let's talk about some of the friendships, the people you've met through this journey. I say in high school you still have friends that are playing now currently, through college. Who are some of the guys that, you're still in touch with, guys that,
Well, yeah, for sure. Definitely Chris Bernal's caught me since I was 8.
Right.
So I've been in touch with him. He's been killing it, at Texas State. He's working hard every day, getting out there. He's really good behind the plate, really, really good behind the plate. And he's been my guy back there since I was real little. So he's been definitely a guy. Jacob Vela, he's one of the dudes that is still playing, and he's really good, outfielder. That my senior year team, if COVID didn't happen, I think we would have done some damage for sure.
That's
we
awesome.
would have been in a really good spot, and it's awesome. But Evan, he still works out with us. He'll be back soon. He's working hard at McNeese, so he's in a really good spot right now. He's throwing hard, doing well. So I'm really happy for all those guys because I know they work hard, and they get after it every day. So it's awesome.
Hey, man, so let's talk about BPN. So this is a supplement company, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so talk about it, man. What's it look like? What's it look like? I know we got a couple here, but what's that look like for you?
I just trust. They're one of those companies that you just trust. You know what I mean? They do everything right. They want to help those athletes out a lot. And I was just saying, My favorite supplement is the Flight.
Yeah.
I take it before I pitch. It gets me going. It's the pre-workout. It's awesome. It's my favorite thing. And I take their stack every morning, strong reds, creatine, and the electrolytes. And I think those are really key for my morning routine, gets me going on the right basis. And, it's awesome. But, yeah, obviously, like, the protein here, they have a lot of flavors. I know Mike likes the mint chocolate chip.
I just saw the mint chocolate chip one, man, and I was like, "That's my favorite ice cream." So I know that I'm gonna order. I'm gonna go. There's a code, right? So we can use, there's a discount code they use for. Okay.
Code Nixon. So it's all capitals Nixon. So it's really cool. I think they're the best supplements in the game, and they've really helped me come to where I'm at right now, for sure.
That's awesome. Well, man, thank you for coming on there, and I appreciate it, man. I think it's great. Congratulations and all the success, man. You've worked really hard.
Appreciate it.
You got the Valley behind you. You got everyone rooting for you all the time, man. And, I know we got a very, very busy preseason here. And, we'll keep everyone up to date with it, man. But, I'm always excited for you. I've been a big fan of you since you were 5 years old, my friend, And so it's so great now. I couldn't be more proud of you. The Valley's proud of you, dude. Congratulations on everything you have so far and all your success and continued success. And, we're rooting for you, bro.
I appreciate you, Mike, and, I appreciate the Valley and everybody's helped me get here. So, really appreciate it. It was awesome being on the show, and let's get after it.
Let's get it, man. We're good. And that's a wrap.